Have you ever desired to show off something you created, like we'll say in racing, or in this case even sim racing? While on the track, simulator, hauling close to the ground in a cart, Abruzzi Racewear has you covered. If you've ever needed to promote your team logo, name, colors, or just feeling a bit more confident in your sim rig, Abruzzi Racewear is your answer. Team shirts, jackets, and even hats, they go the extra mile. Custom race shoes to gloves and even cart suits, Abruzzi has the supplies to fit your needs. Customizable from team names to colors, and yes, you can even have your own name embroidered just the way you want it. In sim racing, they give you the comfort and feel of being strapped into a cockpit to bring the experience closer to the way you desire it. Their range of sim apparel has been created to not only meet and exceed the highest levels of comfort and quality, but also to enable you to make it yours. To add your personality, take a look today at AbruzziUSA.com to see the lineup and what they have to offer. AbruzziUSA.com, with customization at heart, your wear, your way.
Flag is out. Here we go into one. The bottom will be Levi Cox. On the top side will be Larry Yingling. Yingling not going to give it up easily. Coming around two, now to the backstretch. Cox to the inside, coming into three. Levi Cox looking for the pass. Our pole setter and fastest in practice is now leading the race here at Dover. Yingling going to go into second position, but Porter on the inside going to take over Johnson for third. Look at number 7, Mark Willie come flying in. Willie going to slide into fourth. Johnson stuck in no man's land. It's Bisson nose to tail with Whitley going into turn number 3. Brian Johnson looking to the inside of Bisson now for fourth.
And here's the time. Didn't I say it? 15, 20 laps into the run. Here comes Brian.
Let's watch Brian Johnson now do work. Brian Johnson on lap 63. Starting to make his move now up to fourth position after falling back to as far as ninth. There goes Yingling on the inside of McWhorter. Yingling looking to take first. Going across the start-finish line, McWhorter will hold it there, but Yingling going to take it going into one. Still hasn't got it cleared yet. Cox going to drop to the inside of McWhorter as well, so is Johnson. Yingling's going to be first, Cox in second. McWhorter hanging on to third for now, but Johnson on the inside going into 3, looking to overtake that third position. This is exactly what we saw happen to Brian Johnson. Is now Bisson looking to sniff on the inside of McWhorter. Cox now gets passed by Johnson. Johnson has moved to second position as we come around 2.
Basically, Joseph is a sitting duck here right now. Joseph is praying for a yellow.
Yeah, that's the only thing that can benefit him. I mean, he's going to get past.
Oh, and there it is. There's the yellow. Don't get mad.
Johnson on the throttle.
Green.
The green flag drops by Barney, the flag guy. And we shake up the field. It's going to be Johnson, Cox, Hall, Yingling, and Mullen.
I don't think anybody's got anything now. I think what you got is what you got. I think Brian Johnson, as long as he does not mess up, is going to become a 3-time winner here at World Series.
Johnson with a 1.6-second lead over Larry Yingling, who's got Zach Hall right behind him. Exiting 2 with with Johnson and Yingling 1-2. Now the lead increased to 2.3 seconds. Yeah, Brian Johnson, your winner. Larry Yingling in second. Zach Hall third. Levi Cox fourth.
Brian Johnson becomes our second three-time winner of the season, matching Larry Yingling. Now the gang hits the road again. It's the Daytona Road Course. Up next in the World Series of Sim Racing on Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
Welcome, race fans, here to another exciting night of racing here at World Series of Sim Racing League as we are round number 6 here at Daytona Road. Now I got Lee Tidwell up here in the booth, and we're going to get all excited for some Gen 6 road racing style.
I am ready for tonight. I've kind of been looking forward to this all week because when you take these guys and you put them out on a road course and not the traditional oval, then different driving styles start coming to light. Different people start making a name for themselves. Different people have a little bit different of a skill set. And it's going to be interesting tonight. Tonight's probably the best chance we've had yet all season to have a new winner that's not named Brian Johnson or Larry Yingling.
That's right. Well, we're going to see here as, well, I guess we're going to find out, man, because these cars, to me, don't belong at Daytona Road. So we'll have to see how this all plays out.
These cars pretty much say themselves they don't belong here. We've been watching practice for well over an hour now, and yeah, the bus stop in the back, that little chicane, that's tricky. Turns 3 and 5 is tricky. That's on the inside of the course there. So lots of things to be looking for as we are in the middle of qualifying as we speak. And Robert, it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. Fastest in practice, not surprisingly, Brian Johnson.
Oh, that's no shocker.
Brian Johnson, our first three-time winner here this season of World Series of Sim Racing. 2 other races have been run as well, those belonging to Larry Yingling. So only Larry and Brian having victories here this season. And our season stats, Robert, really line us up, or our season point standings really line us up on how this season is shaken out and the consistency of Larry Yingling.
Yes, sorry, I was looking at something. I know I shouldn't say that during the broadcast, but let's bring up the points here, which I forgot to. Give me 1 second there, as while they're in qualifying, I gotta get this data.
No problem. So yeah, Larry Yingling only winning 2 of 3 races. Brian Johnson winning the other 3. But Larry Yingling remains at the top of the points championship with 211 points. Brian Johnson trailing by only 13 at 198. Third place, Zach Hall, also representing Category Category 5 Esports. Cedric Hunter in 4th position, also part of Category 5. Chuck Sweeney will round out the top 5 in the point standings, 151 points. So really, 13 points separate 1 and 2. So that shows the consistency that Larry has had, the 3 wins that Brian has had there, Robert.
Yeah, except for that one finish that Brian Johnson had. I forget what track that was that he finished outside there, not right, actually behind Larry, that one race. Do you remember what race that was?
No.
Well, anyways, that's why he's a little bit far, with 198 compared to 211. It was a track that he got caught up into that wreck. Texas.
Yes. Yeah, it was Texas.
Yes, Texas. And that right now is actually showing, in the points as of right now.
Yeah, so our race to the finish here with World Series of Sim Racing on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, now on week number 6. And it brings us to the Daytona Road Course, the only road course on the schedule this season. And I'm looking to see if we're going to see a new shining star, or a diamond in the rough, so to speak, or will Larry Yingling and Brian Johnson continue to dominate this season?
Well, we're gonna see here if we can get somebody else up here, to take down a win or not. We're gonna find out here, Lee, tonight, because, like I said, these cars normally don't run, Daytona Road. I mean, we know them at Daytona, Speedway, but not the road side of things. So, some of these guys are wheelmen, but they're handling a heavy car around a track that is not meant to be thrown around like that.
Nick Crawford throws down a strong time of 1:45.944. That's challenging the leaders in practice. One of those was Alex Bisson, who lost a little bit of time, 1:46.334.
Yep, we see Nick is a road ringer. That's what we
road ringer.
That's what we call the road guys. They're road ringers.
Gotcha. Oh, so it's like the ones that used to just pop in at Watkins Glen back in the 90s, and you'd be like, I don't know who this guy is.
Yep, but he's a road ringer. I got it, but I don't know. That's what we call them.
Road ringers. I will put that in my vocabulary. I'm actually watching the 28 of Brian Johnson complete his first lap. He's coming through the chicane now on the backstretch, that bus stop. And he had the fastest time in practice. So wondering if he's going to be able to pull out the fastest time here in qualifying as well.
Well, we'll have to see here as he's bringing it down to turn 3 and 4, exiting out of 4, heading to that start-finish line. And we'll see. He's going to take it down below the yellow lines there. Well, I thought he was going to go second, but thought he was going to go below the yellow lines, and he decided not to there, Lee.
Is this one lap qualifying?
Yes. Yeah, they don't have enough of time to make 2 laps in 5 minutes. So, yippers. So it's 1 lap shootout. Early.
Yeah, I was curious because Brian just shot through the cones, and I was just, what is he doing? Okay.
Yeah, it's 1 lap, because they got 5. Oh, wait, no, they got a 10-minute qualifying tonight. So maybe it is 2 laps.
It's showing 2 on the counter, but Brian hasn't left the pit road yet again, so I'm not sure if they're going to. I see Bob Skinner is going down. Skinner hasn't run one yet.
It's looking like so far only person that ran 2 laps would have been Mark. Oh, we'll have to see here. I would imagine that your second lap's not going to be the fast lap, because you got a hot lap that you got to come out, the warm up lap, and then you got to make your lap time and then do it again. 3 laps on them tires is not going to be faster than the second lap of your run.
Yeah.
So
yeah, maybe they just chose to stuck with the first one. Not sure. But talking about our Daytona road course, so beginning at the start-finish line, it's going to be kind of like our Charlotte Roval adventure that we had, I believe, with iRacing. Immediate left-hand turn will be turn number 1. It feeds into 2. Then you got what they call the International Horseshoe at turn number 3. That's going to be on the infield of Daytona. 4 is a slight turn to the left, followed by a hard right at 5, and that brings you into 6, which deposits you back onto turn number 1 in the traditional oval. 1 and 2 will be called 7 here on the road course. 8, 9, 10, and 11, all those turns are the bus stop. 12 is going to be your turns 3 and 4 in the traditional oval, and that brings us back across the start-finish line. So 12 turns on this road course at Daytona. And we continue to watch our qualifying.
All right. Well, you want a quick give a shout out to our title sponsors here at Freaky Fast?
Yes, sir. Freaky Fast Broadcasting brought to you each and every night. We are each and every night, pretty much, by the ButtKicker. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer2 lets you feel every detail, from subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air like traditional speakers, the Gamer2 provides an instant, accurate, powerful bass response. And it's all perfectly in sync with every game with no additional software required. Check out the Gamer2 at thebuttkicker.com. Use promo code FreakyFast20, that's Freaky with 2 E's, Freaky Fast 20 for 20% off your order of the Gamer2. That's at the ButtKicker.com. Also brought to you by Abruzzi. Abruzzi.com, Abruzzi. That's Abruzzi.com. Your wear, your way. That's Abruzzi. I tell you what, I ordered me a set of Abruzzi gloves.
Nice.
I'm about to. I still got my water shoes, man. So I think I'm gonna go and order me some boots as well. I think it might be better than my water shoes. But yeah, the customization, I'm getting some Freaky Fast gloves from Abruzzi, man. So I'm really excited about that.
I can't wait to see pictures. Social media, baby.
So make sure you check out Abruzzi, especially if you're any type of sim racer, kart racer, racer in general. It's Abruzzi.com, Abruzzi.com. Abruzzi, your wear, your way. As we continue with our qualifying, it looks like we are about set to go. Am I correct?
That's correct.
No, we still got a minute and 40 seconds left.
All right. Well,
but they're gridded, though. Yeah, we're ready to go, sir.
Okay.
As we get set for tonight's feature, dirt term, here at the Daytona Road Course, 30 laps. Nick Crawford taking the pole with a 1:45.944. In second position, Brian Johnson comes in for Category 5 Esports, about 0.2 of a second behind. In third position will be Alex Bisson. Fourth, the 77 of Mark Whitley. In fifth, the number 13 of Cedric Hunter. In sixth, Larry Yingling, our points leader in the number 67 machine. In the number 38 car, the number 7, starting 7th position, Richard Swaverly. In 8th, Chuck Sweeting in the number 26. In 9th, the number 33 of Jonathan Smith. In 10th, the number 5 of Zach Hall. William Brown will start 11th at his number 12 machine. Joseph McWhorter in the 12th position. In 13th, Mark Dingman. In 14th, Mike Aleo Jr. In 15th, Brandon Coley. 16th, Bob Skinner. 17th, Danny Lawson. 18th, James Hackworth Jr. And that is it.
Yeah, I think that's all that we have that actually put down a qualifying lap. We do have, looks like we have 3 cars that did not qualify, which would have been William Brown, Mark in the 4, and Mike, even though it showed him. But, anyways.
Well, we have there's a lot of no times.
Yeah.
Zach didn't even turn a time.
Yeah, it messes up the scoring when that happens, but that's okay. We will get it fixed.
Gotcha. So we get ready to go green flag here. The road course at Daytona on the World Series of Sim Racing, right here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Lee Tidwell and Robert A. Moyer Jr., your voices in the sky. As high atop the press box, we get ready to kick off this 30-lap event, this road course, a 3.56-mile, 12-turn course at Daytona.
All right, I am so excited to see these cars here. Gen 6 cars at World Series of Sim Racing League for round number 6, Lee, as they're going to be taking on this Daytona International Speedway road course style racing here tonight for 30 laps, and green flag is out, sir. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Green flag at the Daytona road course. Nick Crawford on the pole takes the lead. Johnson will be in second. We settle into turn number 1 now. Whitley's going to be on the outside of Johnson. Benson going to sniff to the inside of Whitley, going to take third position. Hunter in fourth, Yingling fifth. Cedric Hunter to the backside of Whitley now as Nick Crawford continues to lead. Bunches up the top 5, make it top 7 now as we come into turn number 3. Crawford continues to lead. Bisson going to battle Johnson going into 4. Whitley and Hunter round out your top 5.
Come back here to Cedric Hunter running back in. Oh, we have Richard off track.
Oh,
does he save it? I'm trying to catch him. Wow, he's way off track.
Richard Swaverly off track, but no caution. We're going to continue here at Daytona as we come into turn number 6, heading up into the banking. Crawford, Johnson, Bisson, Whitley, and Hunter, your top 5. Yingling, Swaverly, Sweeting, Smith, and Hall going to round out your top 10. And look at the lead that Nick Crawford is starting to pull out, over a half second now over Brian Johnson.
We'll see if we know how Brian Johnson is. Brian Johnson this season has been dominating, as we all know. on his game. Larry's been on his game, but he's not one of them drivers that, how can I say it? Oh, I don't like the word "oh."
Yeah, Whitley came through that bus stop very slow, and Cedric Hunter right to the backside of it. Go ahead, sorry.
10-4. No, it's okay. Brian Johnson is fast, but he's not fast at the start of the run. You get 10, 15 laps into this thing, that's when it's like the turbo turned on, and all of a sudden he's got the tires, as he's tried to make a move there on his teammate there of Nick, but backed it off a little bit there going into turn 1 there, Lee.
Well, I mean, if you watch the recap from last week at Dover, you could see how those long runs really do benefit Brian Johnson, and how he climbed his way from back as far as 11th position after a restart all the way back and won that race by almost 3 seconds. Oh,
And
we got a
Mark,
spin.
yeah. Whitley spun it around, and he's going to get, whoa.
Oh, stop it. There we go. Mark Whitley.
There he goes. And just to let you know, Lee, there is no yellows. It's local yellows, but I don't think they have yellows turned on. So
Well, that is an interesting
well,
development
a
in
lot
my
of
plan.
leagues do that in sim racing, because if you have a yellow on, it will take so long to get the race done. It's already long enough with 30 laps is a grueling task. So they just have local yellows on, and if you spin out just like Mark did there, well, you're going to have to make it up somehow, you know.
Oh, no, I mean, and I completely understand. I just got to get more acquainted
Nope, that's fine.
with the rules and regulations.
All right, well, we have
that?
Levi Cox out here, too.
Levi Cox?
And on YouTube, on Facebook, I mean, he's at a local track right now.
Oh, what's up, Levi? Yeah, I was starting to look at my lineup. I'm like, he's not here, man.
No, I'm talking to him on Facebook. He's at a local track rooting on his teammate right now.
Coming into turn number 1, Bisson now sniffing the outside of Brian Johnson. Battle second and third. Cedric Hunter has moved up to 4th position. Zach Hall in 5th. Zach Hall up 5 positions from the start of the race, now in 5th position.
Looking very strong. He's
Yeah.
Oh, does he have damage on the front?
It does, yes. That
Yeah.
right front looks a little crumpled.
Yeah, he got into somebody, but you know, Zach's one of them road ringers too. That we like to call. He's pretty good, but I don't know, man. That damage in the front, that could hurt him.
Yeah, because even though they've chopped this up into a road course, when you come into 1 all the way down to the bus stop, the chicane, you need to be as aerodynamic as possible, and then coming out of the chicane all the way to the start-finish line. So it will hinder his efforts tonight. Top 3 starting to pull away: Crawford, Johnson, and Bisson, with about a 4-second lead over 4th place Cedric Hunter. Excuse me. I tried to make Cedric Hunter and Zach Hall a person.
You got the Bobby syndrome. Back in the day, I used to call Cedric Hunter Zach and Zach Cedric all the time.
I try not to mess up names. Now Johnson coming to Crawford. Crawford's going to scoot out to the outside and let him on by. Teammates now working together, looking at him right behind him, and blocks Bisson from advancing. So Johnson now in the lead. Crawford 2nd, Bisson 3rd.
Well, that also helps him there in points. That's 1 bonus point now to help him there to catch Levi. They also have a bonus point in this. I was looking at their scoring, Lee. If you can run a race without no incidents, you get bonus points. I didn't realize that. So keeping the car clean can pay off.
Bisson will slide underneath Crawford and take over the 2nd position in 3. Coming down into 4 now. Bisson looking to charge, and these were our top 2 during qualifying. When you really looked at lap over lap, it was Alex Bisson and Brian Johnson.
As we ride inside with Alex here right now, we'll see how he's upshifting, downshifting. Car looks very, very, oh, nope. He got slipped coming out of that turn a little bit there, Lee. But we're getting here to the evening time, too. It's late afternoon, so the time this race is over, we're going to be under the sky of darkness.
Yeah, and that turn 6, coming from the infield up onto the traditional turn 1, we saw trouble at the Charlotte Roval with TI Racing League of sliding up that hill, coming in too fast, and now these guys are having to work that little bump there and not cut that corner too sharp or it will shoot you straight up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of technical things that you got to do inside the car. You upshift, downshift, turn, hit your braking points, get back on the gas, but don't get back on the gas too soon. I mean, there's so much when it comes to road racing. I mean, look at Alex. Look at him just dive bomb this thing in. He way too much. He drove that thing in so hard, but made it stick, man.
Made it stick indeed.
Wow. I thought he was just going to overshoot turn number 1. He was coming in hot. Like a pancake. Wait, are we having pancakes? We're talking about food? Pancake, yeah. See, syrup, pancake, sausage, what? Eggs. Anybody hungry?
Oh, man. What do we have for dinner tonight? Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. We won't see a Taco Bell until another 2 weeks out there at TI Racing.
Yep, TI Racing League off this week after an outstanding finish to their season. As we continue with our top 3, Johnson, Bisson, and Crawford coming out of 6 now. Let's see how they join that high banking. And Crawford going to dive to the inside, looking for the pass on Bisson. Bisson, once again, kind of bumbled that, it looked like, and went up the track a little.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with he really burned his tires up that last lap coming into 1, like I was explaining, because he went in hot. And I mean, he was locking it up and sliding, so that will play a factor, on them tires. And you can see now, look at him going through the bus stop. Yeah, he's sideways, man. He is loose.
They've been sliding through this bus stop, Tokyo Drift style, since practice. I mean, this is just one of those necessary evils, especially with the temperature dropping, the sun going down, humidity setting at 66%. It's starting to be a cold, wet night out there.
Okay, cold. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's crazy. Humidity up that high. We'll have to see what that does it affect on the engine too, because that's a lot of humidity. I want to say thank you everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube for tuning in. We do much appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying the commentating and tonight's show here at Freaky Fast with World Series of Sim Racing League with, like Lee likes to say, Robert A. Moyer in the booth with Lee Tidwell. Did I do that right? Is that good?
You did it right. You're good.
Oh, all right, good. Okay.
Getting all my stuff pulled back up here.
All right. Well, Joseph moves up to 7th position. Pretty good, strong right now. Strong run for him right now. I haven't talked much about Larry here, Lee. He is back here. Started 6th, running 6th, plugging away at it, not giving up. Mark is down 7 positions. We've seen what Mark did earlier. He spun it around. He's trying to rebound from that. We got Chuck in the 26. Chuck Sweeting. Man, Sweeting. I always mess his last name up. Anyways, back here running in 9th, down 1 position. Jonathan Smith is out here in that 33, plugging away for Driven Motorsports in 8th position, and he's actually up 1 position, so looking good so far. And if you want to call out the guys that are running in the back here, we got Brandon here, Lee.
Brandon Coley, yep. Danny Lawson's back there along with Skinner. Christopher Miller back there as well. But let's bring up the number 5 of Zach Hall, now up to 4th position. In 5th, Cedric Hunter. So 4 of the top 5 is Category 5.
Wow. With 1 car being the spoiler of Alex there with Driven Motorsports says, nope. Category 5 is not going to dominate tonight. Wow, Zach Hall just went through, not sure what turn that was there. Turn 3, he was sideways there, Lee. Woo.
Yeah, and look at Cedric. He's got a nice run on him there from that. As that's the battle for 4th and 5th. Larry Yingling almost 5 seconds behind Zach Hall right now. So the field has definitely shook out, but this top three are staying right there together, Johnson, Crawford, and Bisson.
Beautiful, beautiful sight and sounds down here in Florida, here at Daytona International Speedway. Love the scenery. Love the background. This is such a beautiful, beautiful track. Home of NASCAR, baby.
It truly is the birthplace of NASCAR. Going into 7, our leaders continue. And I'm looking to see if we've got any battling going on. It looks like we got the 15 of Christopher Miller in 15th position and Bob Skinner, the 82. And those two, they're having quite the night themselves back here towards the back of the Paxton.
Yeah.
And then I spoke that into existence, and Christopher Miller spun out in 3.
Whoops. Oh, and he's got some front end damage too. Yeah, that's not gonna help. Oh, he got it back going again as Mark up here is starting to lay down some laps here again. Oh, as I say it, oh wow, he almost lost it coming out of the bus stop.
Mark Whitley in the 77 Nike machine,
Just
running in 10th position. He's down 6 spots, Robert. So not a good race so far, but only he's only on lap 7 or on lap 8 of 30 right now. So still plenty of time. But Brian Johnson, Nick Crawford, and Alex Bisson is just pulling away.
Yeah, they got a good lead over Zach Hall here. Now, I don't know what we're looking at fuel mileage, so I do apologize to everybody out there, the viewership, because I've never ran these cars at this kind of, Daytona road course. I don't know what I wouldn't even have a clue what they're getting on fuel mileage.
Yeah, because you couldn't even go, okay, well, this is 3.5 miles. The regular track is X amount, so now we can get this many laps out of the regular, because you're on and off the throttle so much, and it's not just a constant pedal to the metal like we normally do at Daytona.
Right, exactly. And they traditionally don't.
Crawford right to the back. Sorry about that. Crawford right to the back of Johnson out of the bus stop. And now we got a race here for the lead, but Johnson starting to pull back away out of 12, coming down the front stretch. But yeah, that bus stop, Nick Crawford is able to get right up to the back bumper of Brian Johnson.
I think that's going to be the key of the race all night, is going through that bus stop. Who can make it through that bus stop without, sliding too much and can manhandle it more or less, because they're all loose, but it's going to be who can manhandle it better, basically, from what I'm seeing.
Most definitely, as these guys are quite literally driving the tires off this thing, is Nick Crawford trying to stay on the back end of his teammate Brian Johnson. At the same time, you got Alex Bisson trying to stiffen up, but Bisson gets a little squirrely there coming out of 3. That tail end starting to, on all these cars, really starting to give a little shimmy shake.
Maybe we'll see a kissy kiss later.
We might see one. You never know. Those are best when not known beforehand.
Shake that feather, whip that tail. Doom. Okay, never mind. Well, yeah, I have no clue where I was going with that. I was trying to come up with a song, but it's not Christmas time. That's when I do my singing.
Christmas time is here. We're on lap 9 of 30, my dear. Brian Johnson continues to lead. Poor Nick Crawford.
On my knees.
Where to go. I'm trying to stay away from so much stuff.
I know.
None of those songs ever stay PG with me. It always takes a bad left turn, and I was trying to stay away from it.
Ken out there says it's about 4.5 miles to a gallon that they're getting. So I'm glad he knows. Good.
So 4.5 miles to the gallon for a 3.56 mile track, how many?
Oh God.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck
10.
if Chuck Sweeting reversed his car colors?
Hey,
Alex Biston to the inside now of Crawford and will take that second position.
yeah, and that's going to help Brian pull out for him a little bit there. That's what he likes to see, a little bit of battling from guys. You know, you get lap traffic and can slow you down. So
as we continue to watch that front pack, we got some moving and some shaking going on.
don't got much of a battle. So what's going on out there, chat? We're going to start early here tonight as we got 21 laps to go here tonight. Who would you like to ride along with a cranker up here at Freaky Style, brought to you by the ButtKicker? Start throwing it out there in the chat. Let us know so we can start tallying up the votes as Nick is, whoa.
I completely missed that.
Wow, he came out to go up on the turn 3 coming, and here comes Zach. He's just going to blow right by him, but he came out of there, Lee, sideways and almost headbutted it right into the wall. I mean, it was close.
Goodness. So we continue on here, lap 10.
Whew, that was close. Wow, I bet he was taking that piece of toast and put some kind of butter on it.
It better be apple butter.
Apple butter. Hey, oh man, I haven't had apple butter in a long time. But anyways,
I like me some good old apple butter. So Brian Johnson continues to lead here. And I'm trying to. There we go. No, come on. Switch my camera. There we go. Brian Johnson continues to lead a little under a second lead over Bisson. Bisson into 3 is looking to try to gain some of that back. Zach Hall up 7 spots. Man, monster run so far for Zach Hall, up to 3rd. Nick Crawford will be in 4th. Cedric Hunter 5th. Yingling, McWhorter, Smith, Whitley, and Swaverly round out your top 10.
that's a nice rebound from Richard, though. I mean, he had that early incident there at the beginning of the race, and he's moved himself back up to the top 10. Down 3 positions from his qualifying, but not bad at all.
Cedric Hunter looking to the inside of Crawford, or make that the outside, and will take 4th position. And so category 5 esports, 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, with the lone Alex Bisson separating that group. Those teammates working well together and have this road course. I mean, it's one thing when you got 1 or 2 drivers on a team, but when basically the entire team is running the front of the pack, that team has got they've got this track down. They've got this race down. They have practiced this track. They have turned thousands of laps on this track. They're ready for tonight.
Yes, they have. They've been doing a lot of testing to be ready for this. But yeah, Ken, yeah, I'm not sure. They got 19 laps to go. I don't think they can do this without making a pit stop. 30 laps, they got to make a pit stop, I would imagine. They do run 100% fuel. So, again, we're just going to have to wait and see because I don't have the stats on Gen 6 at Daytona Road. This is just unique that they're doing this.
Yeah, maybe this is where a baseline will be set. Is this race here this evening?
Yeah, it's something that we can jot down. I don't like when you do the stuff.
Sometimes I just get ready to say something and then I don't want to step all over you. But did you see the Ferris wheel in the infield?
Yes, beautiful, ain't it?
I mean, I've never noticed that before.
Oh, yeah. Yepers.
Lap 12 of 30. Our top 5 continues to work this course. Johnson and Bisson in a league of their own at the moment. And then Hunter, Crawford, and Yingling. Hall. Sorry about that. Hall, Hunter, and Crawford. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Yingling in 6th is way on back. And the field is way spread out now. And I say way, way too many times. Cedric Hunter will be running in 4th position into the chicane behind Zach Hall. Crawford will be behind them. Category 5 Esports going into turn 12 as one of their teammates, Brian Johnson, continues to lead. But yeah, these three in Zach Hall, Cedric Hunter, and Nick Crawford just continue to turn these laps. Crawford with the fastest lap of the race with a 1:46.741.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting down some good laps here, Lee, but I don't know. He's just overdriving, and this is the one thing when it comes to road racing. You mess up in one turn, man, can ruin your whole lap, of course, but it can ruin your whole race. I mean, because the minute you mess that one turn up and you burn the tires off, it takes a lot to get, back into where you were and where you're running. So, I mean, because look, you see Cedric now. Cedric's getting loose.
Yeah, and you can see Zach Hall starting to pull away, and Zach kind of drives like Brian. He conserves a little bit at the beginning, not quite as a consistent basis as Brian Johnson, but Zach Hall doesn't put his car through a lot of excruciating effort at the beginning of a race. He saves it, and you can see there where Cedric Hunter's getting loose coming out of 5? That was 5.
Well, Joseph just looped it on lap 13.
Joseph McWhorter.
Yep, he just looped it around. He's not going to lose nothing. He had a pretty well lead from the front to the back of his positions there on the, on the track. So he looped it and just kept it going then, but he looped it around.
And that's one thing that I've noticed about McWhorter is when he feels like and now this is me just speculating, but watching his driving style, it feels like when he thinks he's got to make up time in a hurry or he feels like he's fallen behind, he overdrives his car. And we saw it last week. It was in the recap for Dover, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, where he overdrove the car and just spun. It was in front of Levi Cox. It was at Richmond.
Yep.
So, McWhorter's one of those, and we got a lot in this league so competitive that when they feel like that I'm starting to fall behind, or feel that we got a pit stop going on. Crawford's going to pit, but a lot of these guys, when they feel that anxiety, they feel that pressure, they tend to push these cars a little more than they can. So Crawford pitting on lap 13, Robert.
Correct. And Joseph, I love you. He knows that. But Joseph, from the day one that I known him, he does do that a lot. He will get himself into trouble, and then he tries to drive too hard and gets himself into more trouble. And that's just the nature of racing. That's the nature of somebody sitting behind the wheel. We've all done it, and we all do it. We're all going to keep doing it, So, but anyways, yes, pit stops are now looking here, as you're saying, Lee, with lap 14, 15. So next couple laps, these leaders should be coming in here very, very short.
I have a feeling Category 5 is playing a team game here. Nick Crawford just pitted. If my hunch is right, we're going to see either Zach Hall or Cedric Hunter pit this next time around and then work their way on down to Brian Johnson. That is my guess. Let's see if I am correct.
Yeah, because as for team-wise, you got in the top 5, you got 3 Category 5s, 1 Driven Motorsports, and 1 Yin Yang, with Larry there in the top 5. So we got 3 teams, and there comes Alex. So we'll see. No, Zach is not pitting. So, okay,
yeah, Zach stayed out, and Cedric stayed out. So Category 5 all stayed out. Nick Crawford, the only one to pit. So maybe he tore up those tires a little quicker than the rest. But Cat 5 will stay out and take the top 3 positions.
Well, that's their working team. They're working teamwork. They got a strategy going on right now. But we'll see what, with 16 laps to go, if Alex can leapfrog basically one of these guys and break up that pack of Category 5. We'll find out here very shortly. But who do we want to crank her up with, Lee, as chat's been quiet tonight, so except for Ken out there, which I appreciate. But
Let's see here. Let's crank her up with, I'm trying to find, let's do, the number 21 of Mr. Nick Crawford.
All right. Okay, give me 1 second. And
so Nick Crawford will be our Cranker Up participant tonight. And Cranker Up is always brought to you here on Freaky Fast by the ButtKicker and the Gamer2. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer2 lets you feel every detail, from the subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10-powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air like traditional speakers, the Gamer2 provides an instant, accurate, powerful bass response. And it's perfectly in sync with every game with no additional software required. Check out the Gamer2 on the ButtKicker.com. Make sure you use promo code FreakyFast20, that's Freaky with 2 E's, FreakyFast20 for 20% off of your order of the ButtKicker Gamer2 at the ButtKicker.com. Promo code FreakyFast20, and we're going on board with the number 21 of Mr. Nick Crawford. Cranker Up brought to you by the ButtKicker. Back here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, we've been riding along with Nick Crawford. I tell you what, though, Robert, we had lots of action going on during that Cranker Up, brought to you by ButtKicker. We had Brian Johnson pit, Zach Hall lead a few laps. Zach Hall took a pit stop. Bisson started climbing his way back up. Now Cedric Hunter in the lead, has not pitted yet, the number 13 machine. Alex Bisson back up to second. Brian Johnson in third. and there is literally now Cedric Hunter coming into the pit. So Bisson will now take over the lead on lap 18 of 30.
This is interesting because Bisson, he pitted on lap 14. Let's see here. Okay, and Brian Johnson pitted 1 lap later, and he's got a 3.8 second lead over Brian Johnson with 13 laps to go. So he did what we call he did the leapfrog. He pitted early, had a good pit stop, actually a faster pit stop than Brian with a 14.72 to Brian's 14.82. Not too much off, but it was faster, and it got him out there in the lead, man.
It sure did. And Alex Bisson now up 2 positions, but he was fast in practice. He's been fast at the beginning of this race, and pit strategy could pay off here with a victory, but you can never count out Brian Johnson as we continue with lap 18 of 30. 13 to go here at Daytona on the road side of things on Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
Yeah, last lap, Brian Johnson put down the fastest lap of the race with 1:46.55, but here's something that we didn't see coming. Cedric Hunter just wiped it out. Fresh tires. Not warmed up yet and looped it around or got up over the rumble strips or, because that's something else we don't talk about. Fastest way around the track is, go over the rumble strips, but it also can upset the car really, really bad.
So Cedric will drop back to 5th position after we shake up on pit stops. Looks like James Hackworth Jr. and Brandon Coley still have yet to pitted. Coley in 9th, Hackworth Jr. in 11th. Chuck Sweeting has not pitted either. Interesting.
Well, Chuck is not even showing on track.
Zach Hall with the fastest lap of his race, of his race, 145.604. Actually,
that's the fastest of the race. Yeah, because I was going to say my data's showing in pink, which means it's the fastest of the race.
Yeah, I was like, is that because I selected him? And I'm like, no, man, that's because that's what he is. And he just passed Crawford, now in 3rd position, trying to chase down Brian Johnson, who's 12 seconds ahead of him. Alex Bisson in 1st position has stretched that lead to almost 4 seconds now over Johnson.
Yeah, they're both maintaining the same speed. Alex just ran a 147.20 to Brian Johnson's 147.21. So they're running the same lap times. And from the pit stop sequence, 3.7, 3.8 gap Brian has on Alex. Alex has on Brian. So I don't know, man. We'll have to see if tires come into play here within about 5 laps to go. We'll see if Brian starts picking up them times and if Alex starts falling off, because Brian knows how to save tires. We've seen this multiple times this year.
Oh, yeah, and he just charges back. I mean, he could be laying in wait right now with 11 to go going, I've got time. Yeah. He's like Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
I got time.
He's what? Baby boomer? Baby what?
Baby driver.
Baby driver. Okay.
Yeah, Brian Johnson, baby driver himself, in 2nd position.
I had to throw that out there.
Yeah, I had honestly forgotten.
I didn't.
So Bisson, Johnson, Hall, Crawford, and Hunter, your top 5. 4 of those, 2nd through 5th. Category 5 esports. Yingling will be in 6th. McWhorter in 7th, up 4 positions. Did a little bit better now after that early spill. Smith will be in 8th, Whitley in 9th, and Hackworth Jr. without a pit stop up to 10th position.
I wonder how far James can go on fuel. I mean, he's not running these fast laps like these leaders are, so he's not using a lot of fuel. As he's back here in 10th position. I mean, it's not bad, but he's got to have to make a pit stop unless he's going to come down and just get enough of gas and go back out there and just finish off the race, with the tires that he started with. I mean, you're not going to gain nothing. You're not going to lose nothing. So
He just came over the radio. He's pitting this lap. So Hackworth
okay.
Jr., our last individual not pitting, will be pitting on lap number 19 of 30 for him.
Well, I'm watching him. We're going to watch him come down because I just want to see if I was him, maybe just take 2 tires enough for fuel or no tires, just fuel and get out there.
Did I mention how much I like my press box view?
No, why don't you let me know?
Oh my gosh. It's so wonderful. So Hackworth Jr., no, the car's jacking up. Yeah, so he's taking at least right side tires.
Does he take left? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I wouldn't have done that. I would have just took fuel, got out. With 10 to go.
Yes, sir. Bisson now continuing with some lap traffic, just came up on the number 1 of Coley and passed him in 4.
And that helped Brian Johnson knock the lead down to 3.4 now. So lap traffic does play a factor, but now Brian Johnson is going to have to play the lap traffic game and get around Coley.
So we're going to watch that as we come out of 6 onto the big bank turns of Daytona. Right next to the beautiful Sunoco sign. Looks pretty lit up in neon here at night, man. This press box view, I'm telling you, I get to see the Ferris wheel. I get all the details in these tracks and the environment around them. There goes the daggone airplane down the runway. I mean, come on.
Did you see down by the Ferris wheel after we're done broadcasting, you need to go get me a funnel cake?
Dude, I'll get me one too. We're down.
All right. Extra powder, please.
Oh, yep. We good, man. Diet Mountain Dew, I got you.
Oh, you see? Oh, man. Oh, man. So stay for a post-race interview after the race, guys. There might not be one.
Johnson, 2.8 seconds. Nope, take that back. 3 point. No, I'm not going to sit.
Yeah, it's up and down right now. It's 2.7 now, back to 2.8, back down to yeah.
Yeah, but I looked the way that mine is lined up because I've got it put on Brian. Instead of looking at Bisson's time, I looked at Mark Whitley and I was like, how is Bisson 39 seconds ahead?
Oh. Well, Mark has no nose on that Just Do It Nike's machine. The back end of the car got hit in the center. And he's back here running in 9th position, so he went off track somewhere or ran into somebody, and we missed it. I know his family.
Which can definitely happen.
Yeah, and I know his family's out there watching. I believe his girlfriend and his mom, I believe, watch us on YouTube, I believe, so.
Wait, Kenneth said there's a redhead in a bikini somewhere. I got to find. Can we go back to that shot, please?
My shot don't go there. Sorry.
Hey, Kenneth. Kenneth said he saw it on chat, man.
Yeah.
And chat says that it must be true.
I'm looking and I don't see it. But do you know one thing though, Lee?
What's
Every
that?
track has an image of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, I had heard that, and I
It's
hadn't
true.
got around and looked at that stuff as Johnson dealing with Coley now. And Coley just goes to the high side, so Johnson going to slide up underneath him there in turn number 12.
Yeah.
The lead now is 2.4 seconds, so even with dealing with Coley, he might even used it for some draft, made up about a half a second there.
Yeah, and he caught him at the right place. Right place at the wrong time. He didn't catch him going into the turn or coming out of the turn. He caught him going down the tri-over or whatever you want to call it, the corner of the turn, and be able to keep all his momentum up. So he didn't have to lose really nothing. So he actually gained a lot of time on Bisson right now there with 8 laps to go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 8 to go, and I'm worried as I watch Brian Johnson because Bisson is running a pretty good race right now. I mean, I don't see him getting loose in the corners. He's running his race. I'm worried about Johnson overdriving it because you see as they come into these corners, Johnson can start to sniff the back end, but you know that Bison's going to be able to hit the accelerator a lot quicker. I don't want Brian to overdrive it. Luckily, Coley is an outstanding driver himself, did not get in the way of Alex Bisson, did not get in the way of Brian Johnson, and going to let these two leaders race with 8 laps to go now into turn number 7, the big bank turn on the right side of the track.
Yepers, and will we see a different winner here tonight with 8 laps to go? Will it be Alex finally breaking that streak of Larry and Brian Johnson dominating this season so far? That's
yeah, that's the thing is with Alex Bisson, and we haven't talked about him really enough with what he's doing right now, leading this race. He could be our first winner that's not, like I said, not named Brian Johnson or Larry Yingling. But now the lead down to 1.7 seconds after 1 lap. So Johnson is cutting about 0.6 to 0.7 seconds off per lap, 7 to go. It's a long green flag. It's only been a green daggum flag. But we know how strong Brian Johnson gets on long runs. Johnson pitted on lap 15. 7 to go here of 30.
I think Alex is starting to feel the pressure though there, Lee. I got a funny feeling with about 3 laps to go is when we're going to see Brian on top of Alex. But if anybody's out there looking for a league, first time viewership here at Freaky Fast, we'll start off with one thing because I'll get yelled at from Lee. I kind of went in 2 different things there. Let me back my statement up here. If you're looking for a league, make sure you check out World Series of Sim Racing League over on Facebook at World Series of Sim Racing League or on iRacing's league portal page, World Series of Sim Racing League. If you're the first-time viewer here at Freaky Fast, make sure you on Facebook you hit that subscribe button and follow button. And if it's the first time over there on YouTube watching me and Lee Tidwell and the rest of the crew through the week, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow subscribe button and bell button they have. So help us out, and you know, you won't miss any of the freaky action there, Lee. So hopefully I did that good.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
outstanding job there.
Yeah, see, the chat's gonna yell at you now because you're so mean to me.
I don't consider myself mean. I'm playfully aggressive.
Okay, that's a good. Okay, you got me. Dang it! All right, back to the race.
Across the line will be 6 to go this time. 1.7 seconds separate Alex Bisson and Brian Johnson. Zach Hall has worked his way up to 3rd now, up 7 positions from his start. Fastest lap of the race. 6 to go, but outstanding job by Zach Hall here tonight.
Yeah. Is there any battling actually really going on out here right now?
Let's see here.
I don't see nobody.
32 in for 7th position, Jonathan Smith and Joseph McQuarter.
Okay.
Going into the bus stop now. McQuarter looking to pass Smith. Whew, they got close there coming out of the bus stop. Going to power into 12.
Teammates play nice.
He came right up to the back. That McQuarter's always super fast. I mean, he's always had a good car. He's always got a good line. He just tends to get either A, overdrive it, or B, he has been a recipient of some of the worst luck this season.
That's every season for the poor guy. I'm actually rooting him on the win. He needs a win.
A little squirrely there.
Does. Yeah, I was just ready to say, you see that the back end wants to kick out on him there a little bit. About the battle that we got going on right now here with 6 laps to go. Basically, Alex and Brian pretty close to each other right now. And then these guys back here battling it.
McQuarter got loose there. Gave Smith a chance to pull away. Whitley is way behind, so nothing to even really worry about with there. We got some lap traffic of Richard Swaverly right behind McQuarter.
Brian Johnson knocked down the about 2 seconds now. But Alex Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there, but
No, you're
Alex
fine.
ran a 149 to Brian's 150. So Alex is still, he found something out there.
He did, because Brian Johnson was knocking off about a half a second, but for the last 3 laps, that gap has remained at about a 1.17. So really going to be able to tell when we come across the start-finish line, obviously, but going through these corners in the infield, is Bisson's using every bit of that track. Every single bit. The curves, the little bit of pavement that might have happened to be sprinkled on the outside. It's amazing the amount of road that he's driving right now. Alex Bisson in first position with 5 to go, going into the big turn up 7.
But the highest running Ford here tonight is going to be Cedric Hunter as of right now. There is no Toyotas in the field. So give a shout out there to the manufacturers there.
Yeah. I drive a Toyota when I drive these cars.
Nice. Thank you. You're my friend.
To be honest, the way that I chose it before I learned how to do very amateur-looking paint schemes, I found the paint scheme that I liked, and it was on the Toyota.
And so that's what you bought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We come across the line, and we'll be 4 to go as the gap now looked at about 1.7 again across the line. Missing with a nice entry into 1, though.
Nice, but loose, because we were just riding inside with him, and you watch the front wheels. They're going left, right, left, right, left, right, and you watch the steering wheel. He is wheeling that thing right now. That thing is just evil on him.
Oh, yep,
Yeah.
I saw it right there as he got into the throttle and had to squat a little bit. Coming in hot is Alex Bisson. Bisson coming into 5.
Look at you see that? Watch the front wheels. He is working it.
Alex Bisson in that number 95 Driven Motorsports Chevrolet, leading the race with 4 to go at the Daytona road course, up onto the curb. As we come out of 6 into 7, the big sweeping left-hand turn, and the speeds start to go up 170 miles an hour at the center of that turn. Bisson comes out of the turn and down the backstretch, reaching speeds of 200 before getting on those brakes and coming all the way down to 80 miles an hour here in the bus stop. Ooh, sliding.
That's crazy. Almost 200 miles per hour. Wow. That's high speed. That's faster than what they do at, Watkins Glen or Infineon, man. That is some speed. But we've been watching here with 4 laps to go here, Lee. I just been keeping an eye here on Brian Johnson, and he's not swaying back and forth. He seems very smooth, very good, but he's not picking up enough of ground, though. It's he's going to have to start pushing that car, or I don't think he's got anything for Alex, to be honest with you.
3 to go, and here is where we need to really start paying attention to it, because we've been, as you said, Alex has been kind of bobbing and weaving. Brian Johnson's kind of solid. So has Johnson been biding his time, letting Alex wear down those tires and give Brian that opportunity? So 3 to go. We are now coming into turn number 4. Bisson in first, Johnson second, Hall, Crawford, Hunter. It's a Category 5 top 5 minus the leader.
Oh, except for Cedric just wiped out.
Again?
Yeah, he put the kitty right into the tires, and the cat went meow. That
Looks
hurt.
like he's going to hold on to 5th position for now.
Cat said, meow, that hurt.
No, did that hurt? No.
Okay, let's not do cat sounds. We're bad. That was bad on both ends.
It made me think of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, that creepy little cat puppet.
Oh,
Puppet
yeah.
Land was the scariest place on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
That and last night I was watching Austin Powers with that cat that got frozen in the chamber thing going, "Oh, it's cold." I was like, oh my goodness. Anyways.
Coming into 12 is Bisson. Across the line will be 2 to go. And let's see what Brian Johnson, is he going to have anything for Alex Bisson? Bisson was our fastest in practice until Johnson laid down a quicker lap, about 0.3 of a second. But now it's coming down to the final 2 laps. We really don't have anything else going on the track. So we're going to stay here with Bisson and Johnson coming into 3. Bisson, a little squirrely there, trying to get on that throttle. Here comes Johnson right behind him as they head to 4. 1.2 second gap now. Bisson now into 4, sliding it around, coming to 5. Hard right hand here. Coming in at 50 miles an hour, having to slow it down, get that nose settled, and then squat and accelerate. 1 second gap. Into 6. Left hand onto the banking. Alex Bisson.
I think Brian Johnson I think this is where Brian Johnson's picking up the speed, dude. You can see he's down at a second lead there, and his lap times are faster than Alex right now. So I think Brian says it's go time. So
here we go with basically 1.5 to go. We go to the chicane. The bus stop. Bisson's going to dive it in. Dive it in hard. Keeps that momentum going. Jumps the curb. Up onto the banking. And trying to accelerate off. The lead down to 0.7 of a second. Brian Johnson slowly but surely climbing back up here. Across the line will be a white flag. Is there enough time for Brian Johnson, or has Alex Bisson played the pit strategy game perfectly and will come away with a victory here tonight? Into 1. The gap is starting to shrink. Look at Johnson pulling up there behind Bisson. Out of 1, heading now into 2. And then the hard right of 3. What is going to happen here? Bisson now hugging that inside. Johnson starting to get ever so closer as we head down the infield stretch into turn number 4. 0.7 seconds now the gap. Heading into 5, Bisson having to slow it way down, 48 miles an hour here, trying to roll it through. Back on the gas, and Johnson gains a little bit here. On to 6. Bisson's going to cut it way short. Johnson, I think he had a better run there. Down to 0.5 second.
Oh boy.
Coming down turn number 7, headed for the bus stop. Alex Bisson and Brian Johnson. This is for the win. Johnson waited to decelerate there. Comes up quickly onto Bisson through the bus stop. Both of them make it through there untouched. 0.4 seconds is the lead. I don't think Johnson's going to have enough here in turn number 12, Robert. I think Bisson has played the proper strategy with pits, the proper strategy with tires, the proper strategy with driving, and Alex Bisson will come across the line with his first victory of the season here on the World Series of Sim Racing.
Good job by everybody. That was awesome to watch. Brian Johnson was running the tires off that car them last 3 laps. Wow. Congratulations.
Brian Johnson tried to give Bisson everything that he wanted, but the skill of Bisson, the driving skill, the pit strategy, everything led to a victory here tonight at the Daytona Road Course, week number 6.
That's right. As the fireworks go off, bang, bang, boom. Love it. Hopefully everybody has a good 4th of July coming up.
I forgot that's even a thing this year.
Well, we're not having it here in PA, but...
I think Nashville's shooting off fireworks, and it's just going to be broadcast on television.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing here too. So, but
Coley and Hackworth going to race to the line for 10th. Hackworth to the inside. Coley and Hackworth. Oh, Coley barely. No, Hackworth beat him out at the line. Hackworth beat him out at the line and takes 10th position. Now we're going to have a race. Oh, no, that's not a race. Never mind. I thought we still had somebody else going. Let's get on with that. Whitley now coming down across the line as everybody's spread out. But, yeah, what a finish to this race, Robert. And hopefully you kept up with – there we go. So Alex Bisson came away with the victory tonight. And Brian Johnson in second position. And my telemetry is all jacked up because of a road course, sir. I have no idea the rest of the order.
It would be Alex, Brian Johnson, Zach Hall. Fourth place is going to go to Nick. Cedric Hunter's going to bring it home fifth. Larry's going to bring it home sixth. And then we got showing me Jonathan.
There we go. Yeah, weird. Mark Whitley in eighth. Jonathan Smith seventh. Mark Whitley eighth. McQuarter in ninth. Coley 10th, Hackworth 11th. So Coley did beat him out to the line. Skinner in 12th, Swaverly 13th, Lawson 14th, Christopher Miller in 15th, Sweeting in 16th, 17th will be bad night for Chuck, man. 17th, William Brown, 18th will be Mark Dingman, and 19th, Mike Jr. So that will be your finishing order here at the Daytona Road Course with the World Series of Sim Racing. We finally got a new voice in the press box tonight for our winning interview. It's not Brian Johnson. It's not Larry Yingling. It's the number 95 of Alex Bisson. And we're going to bring Alex and Brian Johnson and Zach Hall up to the booth in just a moment here on the World Series of Sim Racing on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Gang, we'll be right back. And back here on the World Series of Sim Racing on Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we get set to talk to our podium finishers here this evening. First, we're going to bring up our third place finisher, Mr. Zach Hall. Zach is leaving the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Oh, yep. Yes.
Oh, you're there. Hey, man, great job tonight. Third place finish, and it looked like everyone was dealing with a little bit of a loose rear end there.
Yeah, you know, these things are hard to drive with the low downforce package. It was a tough race night. I made it a lot tougher on myself by messing up qualifying. I was coming out of 4 when qualifying ended, so I didn't give him a lap in because I messed up the first one. Just got an incident in the bus stop. So didn't get a qualifying lap in. I probably should have qualified on pole. That was kind of ruined my race there starting 10th. But, you know, we marched up to 3rd, had some pretty good damage on the nose too, so I think that hurt me too. But I was able to run the fastest lap tonight and get a podium and lead a lap. So I'm definitely happy. I definitely came to this race saying it was podium or nothing tonight. Definitely wanted to win, but you know, I'll take 3rd for sure because Brian and Alex were on their game, especially when they start 1-2. It's gonna be hard to catch them too.
And as you said, you know, with the qualifying not going your way, starting in 10th, to be able to work your way up to a podium finish and run the fastest lap of the race, it's a success tonight.
Yeah, it definitely is. You know, also points gained, you know, Larry, I think, finished 6th. So led a lap, got the fastest lap. There's 2 bonus points there added. So did pretty good. I think Brian led the most. So it was a good night overall for the team too, because I mean we had second, third, fourth, fifth there, and also 12th. So pretty good night for Cat 5. I can't complain. I mean, just kind of kicking myself for missing qualifying there and getting that nose damage. It definitely I don't think helped me there. It was about 25 seconds of damage there on the nose, and just a little away from me tonight. But I'm smiling because I know next road course we go to, I got something for these boys.
Of course you do, sir. I wouldn't doubt it. Now, next week we are going to. Dadgummit, I had
Daytona.
Back to Daytona, but we're going to be on the actual oval instead of this road course, and that's something that you're always good at, is these super speedways. What's your game plan going into next week?
Well, normally I'm pretty conservative going in these races. With no fast fixes. The big one can happen at any moment, and you don't want to get caught up early in something and just have to ride on a broken car all night. But it's kind of bit me these last few times we went to your sugar plate tracks, being not aggressive and kind of sitting in the back, and then nothing happens, and then you're kind of, SOL. So you're kind of just sitting there. You could say a boat without a paddle. So hopefully next weekend we'll be able to work with our teammates, be aggressive, keep it up front, lead some laps, and I don't know, maybe get a win. I definitely need it for them playoff points. So trying to get as many of those, so when the playoffs come, I don't have this huge gap to Brian and Larry, because they're building the castle there for the rest of us guys to climb.
They sure are, sir. Well, congratulations on your third place finish tonight. Anyone you'd like to say hello to out there?
Oh yeah, first off, thank you guys. Man, the broadcasts have been A1. It's been fun being in the booth with y'all. It's a pleasure as always. Also shout out to all these drivers who came out tonight. We had, I think, 19 guys show up. Not 19 guys grid, but, at least some guys came out and attempted to, do the road course racing, which is good to see. So we know to keep it on the schedule and people were enjoying it. We had an epic battle, so congrats to Alex and Brian. Nick was up there, I know, and he just made a mistake. He had a great run tonight. But yeah, thanks to my teammates and pretty much everybody who else watches out there, the fans. That's why we do it. So thank everybody else out there.
All right, thank you, Zach. Congratulations on your third place finish, and I will see you tomorrow night, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, that is Zach Hall, your third place finisher, the number 5 machine, part of Category 5 Esports. Now we're going to bring up our second place finisher, Mr. Brian Johnson. Brian is leading the booth. You got a copy, sir?
I sure do.
Did you wait too long, or did Alex just have too much?
Well, I mean, the biggest issue was the undercut. My strategy was going to be pitting right at halfway, and I should have known he was going to do it and pit on lap 14, and so I should have pitted on lap 14, because it's tough when you're about a second ahead, and then he pits, next stop you pit, and you come out, and he's 4.5 seconds ahead of you. So that's tough to a tough, one tire advantage isn't going to be able to pick that up easily. So just the whole run, had to push as hard as I could, and made several mistakes, and just didn't have the tire there at the end that I needed. I need about 1 or 2 more laps too. That would help.
Well, you did run the fastest last lap, if that's any consolation. But no, I mean, we were watching you after that pit stop at about halfway through the race, work your way back up through the field, and then really I concentrated on like the last 5 laps and saw where you started making your move, and I couldn't tell if you didn't make it early enough or if it just wasn't enough steam there, and you answered that question. What about Cat 5 tonight? Second, third, fourth, fifth place finish, and then you also had Bob Skinner in 12th position, but 4 of the top 5 finishers here on the road course from Cat 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of have a little bit of an unfair advantage there, because we also do, these iRacing special events, whether it be 24 hours Nürburgring, or we do 24 hours Daytona quite a bit, Bathurst. So I think we have a little bit of an unfair advantage there, since we do a lot of road racing outside of this league. But it's really good. If we were taking team points and had a team standings, then we'd be sitting pretty after this race.
Yes, sir. And after this race, Larry finishing in 6th position, That's good. Yeah, and I think you led most laps. The points are going to be interesting when finally tabulated after tonight.
Yeah, that was the big thing. Like it really sucks that I couldn't win that one, but it's really good that I finally got a good handful of points on Larry. So I don't think that's going to put me in the lead. I don't think. Still going to be a little bit behind, but yeah, we'll just have to try to carry that over to the next couple weeks here before the playoffs start. Because we're whoever has those 5 extra points for regular season champ is going to be that's going to be really good going to the playoffs. So got my eye on that.
Yeah, and put you sitting pretty looking at the playoffs. Next week, we're back here at Daytona, but we're going to take all the cones down and do this the right way. Super speedways are a treat to watch, but nerve-wracking to drive. You are one of the experts at super speedways. What do we got to look forward to next week?
Well, I don't know about expert, but those things. It's
Listen,
like
baby driver.
It's like Robert says, super speedways are a crapshoot. Anybody can win, everybody could lose. So that's definitely going to be a team race. You're going to see Driven be all together. I think for the most part, you can see Cat 5 all together for the most part, and you're going to have 2 strategies. It's either stay ahead of the trouble or stay behind the trouble. So we don't know what we're going to do yet, but it's just a matter of being there for the last 5 laps. Everything else before that doesn't really matter a whole lot.
Yeah, and I got to learn that myself. So, but congratulations, 2nd place victory. I'm really looking forward to seeing when the points come out from this race, and then next week we'll be in Daytona, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you there as well, sir.
Alrighty, thank you.
Is there anybody you want to say hello to, give a shout out to? I almost forgot that part. You joined me in the booth on Wednesdays. You know better than to let me do that.
That's just, okay. So you're gonna put that on me?
I have to blame someone.
But just like I say every week, all the fans that tune in, watch us go around in circles. You guys up here in the booth do a fantastic job putting our races out there for everybody. Then all the league drivers and admins, as always. This league wouldn't be nothing without them, and I think we've had a very successful first year so far. I look forward to see what happens in the future next year.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that 2nd place finish, and I'm looking forward to seeing those points come out. We'll see you next week here back at Daytona Center.
All right, thank you, Lee.
And that's Mr. Brian Johnson, your 2nd place finisher, as we bring up your first winner, not named Johnson or Yingling, and it was here at the road course, and boy, did he put on a show. Mr. Alex Bisson. Alex is leading the booth. You got a copy, sir.
How you guys doing tonight? It was a long little evening we had.
It was, and I tell you what, I actually jumped in at the beginning of practice, and I do every race, and I watch you guys and kind of pick up on different things, and you were uber faster in practice. And I even told Robert when he first got on, I'm like, Alex is fast tonight. Alex is fast. And then you just put on a show. Brian Johnson had a strong car as well and a really good driving strategy, but it seems that 1 lap hit difference is all it took. What brought you in on lap 14?
That outlap is super important because those tires are nice and cool, and you gain about 4 seconds a lap on that outlap. It's huge. So my goal kinda was to let him by before the pit stops and get a nice little gap. And my goal was always to pit on 14. I knew that was going to be the strategy there, to get fresh tires early and run them out to the end. He did a great job catching back up. I'll tell you what, he was 5 seconds back at one point, and he reeled me in. And the only place I was really getting him was that bus stop. That bus stop I was really smooth through, and that was about the only place I was faster. Other than that, he'd gain and gain and gain. I was definitely nervous, no doubt about that.
Yeah, watching the final lap as y'all come into what's traditionally 1 and 2, which is turn 7 here on the road course, and then head into that bus stop. Brian was only about half a second behind you, and that bus stop, it was a make or break, but a smooth transition through it, and you pulled away and secured that victory. What was you thinking on that last lap?
It felt like a make or break lap, that's for sure. The pressure was on. I knew he was a lot faster than me. I was really good through the transitions up through first to second gear. I had the rear end really underneath me. I think a little bit better than him. I was able to get onto the big oval 1 and 2 there a little bit quicker. But I'll tell you what, I knew the second half of the track was definitely where I was strong. I was very worried that we would battle up until the second half of the track. If he got me in turn 1 or coming up through those S's, it would have been a really rough race, and I don't know if I would have been able to get by him. But I knew being in front of him was going to be important.
So week 6 of the season, and it's your first time in victory lane. And as I said, the first time that either Brian Johnson or Larry Yingling has not won the race. So congratulations on your first victory here this season. Next week, we're back here at Daytona, but we're running it the right way. What do we got to look forward to on the super speedways of Daytona next week?
I could be wrong. I think it was maybe week 6 or 5 that I decided to break out a nice 3 in a row. So I would like to do that again. I'd like to win a couple more. I think Daytona Big Oval is not a great thing for me. I'm not very good at the super speedways. However, I'm aggressive. I'm kind of like Ricky Stenhouse. I either finish or don't. So we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be fun. I think this season, actually, the playoffs is impeccable. I think you guys are going to really love the playoffs. We have Martinsville, we have Pocono, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be a blast eating those tracks up. So I'm excited to get there. I need all the points I can get, so I'd like to win a couple more. And let's go with next weekend.
There we go. Alex, anybody like to give a shout out to out there?
My brother watches every week. He's a savage. He's building a cabin with his kid in the woods. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to run to a bunker or something like that. I don't know, but good for them. I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate what you guys do. Thank you so much. Elevate Design on the hood makes killer graphics. If you need anything, let him know. You want a sign, you want some logos, hit that guy up. He's phenomenal. So thank you guys for what you do. Thank you for the hosts. Thank you for letting us help build the setup this week. That was very important to us. So we appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys next weekend at a fun super speedway.
Awesome. Alex, congratulations, sir. Go enjoy that victory.
Thank you, brother. Already having a Bud Light seltzer because we need hydration.
There we go. The number 95 of Alex Bisson, your winner here tonight on the Daytona Road Course. Robert, it was a fun evening. I like road races once a season.
Yeah.
Once a season.
Okay.
Once a season.
Okay. I'll give you that, one a season. But yeah, man, these guys put on one whale of a show again, like they do every Saturday night, man. Awesome, man. It's just awesome what they can do. You know, it's just awesome to watch some of these guys. I call them road ringers, Lee, but it's awesome to watch some of these guys just the way they finesse a track and finesse a car around a road oval. You know, I mean, at Charlotte, Roval, road course, whatever it is. I try it and I don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe I'm too scared to dive bomb it into the turn and not thinking it's going to stick. But these guys here, they know how to do it.
They absolutely do, and they showed it to us tonight. As we get ready to run through our final standings for tonight one more time, your race winner, the number 95 of Alex Bisson, coming away with the victory. In second will be Brian Johnson. Third, Zach Hall. And fourth, Nick Crawford. Fifth, Cedric Hunter. Rounding out your top 10, Yingling, Smith, Whitley, McWhorter, and Coley a lap down. On back through the pack, Hackworth Jr. in 11th, Skinner in 12th, Swaverly, Lawson, Miller, Sweeting, Brown, and Dingman. There we go. Will be round out your field for this evening. But I had a blast here at the Roval, and I'm getting ready for tomorrow night. We go live at 7:50 Eastern time with Sim Racing Unleashed, correct?
That's correct.
Man, I was hoping that was right. I've never watched a race at Kentucky, so I am uber excited about that, and I also know that I have to buy a new track.
Highline. They will be running the Gen 6 cars up against the wall. That's the fastest way around there. Now, if they're using the new Kentucky, the new one with the new layout and everything, I don't know. I don't know if the high line or the low line works. I know the old one, it's all about the high line, Lee. So we'll have to see how that all plays out, man. Tomorrow night, 7:50. Sim Racing Unleashed will be live, but one last time, I want to give a shout out to our proud sponsors here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
Yep, they are the Butt Kicker. Make sure you check out the Gamer2 at thebuttkicker.com. Use promo code FreakyFast20. That's Freaky with 2 E's. FreakyFast20 for 20% off the Gamer2 at thebuttkicker.com. Freaky Fast Broadcasting and World Series of Sim Racing also brought to you by iPitting. iPitting Board is a web tool designed for iRacing teams. Helps you create an iRacing series board for all your teammates and provides a clear vision of every data point that they need. Schedules, results, championship points, standings, and more. And it is also a great help for your team community manager who can use our tool to know and share information on social networks of your team's achievement. That's iPitting, proud sponsor of Freaky Fast Broadcasting and also the World Series of Sim Racing. Also brought to you by Abruzzi. Abruzzi.com, Abruzzi. That's Abruzzi.com. Your wear, your way. Gloves, boots, sim wear, all your needs. It's Abruzzi.com. Your wear, your way. That's Abruzzi. Robert,
right.
Another great Saturday night here. I'm ready to pack up and head to Kentucky, sir.
That's right. That's what we're going to do. So until then, hopefully everybody enjoyed tonight's broadcast here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. If you're on the Facebook side, if you don't mind, please help us out by hitting that follow or the bell button. And if you're on the YouTube, don't forget to hit that bell button or subscribe button so you don't miss any of the action here all week long, every night here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But until tomorrow night, 7:50 Eastern, live with Sim Racing Unleashed. But until then, Lee, we will catch everybody later. And like we like to say up here at Freaky Fast, until then, God bless everybody. Love yous all. Peace out.